Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are excited to be with Keleena Malnar, who is a light code activator, DNA activator, and so much more. She's a beautiful transmitter of divine codes. Today, we are talking about your sacred, divine, feminine nature and how we activate that for New Earth. And what a beautiful time, Kalina. Here we are in 2022. Just the energy of those numbers is the key codes that are so supportive for this divine feminine energy to actually amplify and be expressed. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. And you're exactly right. It is the perfect year for this. 2022 is that feminine number, the six. So much is happening with it too. So much.
Yes, so let's start there. Um, I can share some experiences that people in our audience have and what's going on. But what have you been witnessing with your clients and yourself?
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to share with you what just happened.
Mm.
This always happens for me in May for
Ah,
Mother Mary, but also in July when we honor Mary Magdalene. I received the Immaculate Heart on my face. I posted it on my social media on May 1st, but literally on the side of my face, this huge Immaculate Heart comes in a big indent with the little sword or dagger going through. And that for me is the symbology of the embodiment of the Divine Mother, of Mother Mary, of the Divine Mother, that we all are connected to when we have the realization and awareness that we are all and everything. And also, a lot of the time, like with the Sisters of the Rose and the things I do, I have the ability to activate those codes of light in men and women because the men are also connected with this energy as well. We are all that collective consciousness of the one heart, the divine love of the mother. That's who we are. It's just been hidden for a long time within us. So that happened just May 1st. It's on there. And what I'm seeing, which is amazing, I think it's amazing. I did a lot of grid work in Mexico in the fall and 30 days there at the sacred sites with Isis, Mother Mary, a lot of the divine mothers that came in. And Hathor was there. All of those that represent Mexico, ocean, many of them. And what happened was, as we were going through this grid work, I was being shown what it was preparing humanity for 2022. And in that, one of the things was the acceleration of the divine feminine within everyone, men and women. And in that, it's helping to release the masculine wounds, that masculine wounding that's within everyone. And it's coming up, and it's all connected. This was all connected to the North Crystalline Grid to happen during these sacred times and sacred events of 2022. And even, it's even more powerful during the events that are aligned with the planetary shifts that are happening in alignment with Mother Earth. So one of the things that I saw for the masculine, because this happened because William was with me on that with some other women, and he had to be the symbology of the masculine. I took a crown off his head and threw it between the two pyramids, and Gaia opened up and took it, and she melted it and lit it on fire. And during that, what it was, the symbology was, Isis explained, of the men being decrowned and dethroned. So the old egoic ways, the old programs of the ego being removed through the time-space realities that we've all lived in that are overmasculated. But the women are also going through their own stuff as well because they've got those things to transform as well within them. But the heightening of the feminine energy is what's bringing this to transform.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And so we know that to play out in the collective, it's going to take some time as everyone catches up to that. But it's so fascinating to see what's going on with the light workers and the people who are really steering consciousness in this way. So, you know, it's very interesting. We've heard from folks in our audience that they feel women are feeling an activation. They're feeling, it could even be like something with intimate parts, which that's interesting. And some people are kind of concerned saying, is this entities? I've never felt this before. But that's something, isn't it? That's something, and it doesn't have to be sexual or romantic, or maybe it does. What is your take on that? There's something maybe that women haven't been connected to so deeply that now it's obvious.
It's the sacred union is what it is. It's a sacred union of our body being as a divine channel for Mother, Father, God's love and their energy. So Father, the energy from Solaris comes down through and Gaia's energy will go back up and it can get very intense and actually create sexual feelings of excitement. And all it is us being a channel for this to create the orgone energy on the planet. We've done this many lifetimes ago. We did it, in all the different time periods, Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, and the temples. These are things that our bodies are actually designed for that we've been disconnected from for a long time. And so when women are feeling this, they're getting really concerned about it. They're, what is this? It's actually purity. It's pure source love flowing through mother and fathers, and it activates within ourselves. And then we can take that energy up into our heart and expand it out, upon the planet, into the grid, amongst everything, among everyone, that we are here to use that. We have all these different channels within us. The Kundalini has 5 different channels. That's one of the ones that's been shut down and people haven't really been able to connect with. So I can't remember who talked about that. I learned that a long time ago. It might have been John Fallow, but I remember actually having an activation on that and then going and seeking to try and find someone that talked about it. But he didn't have the full understanding of everything. But the first channel is the channel that runs through us is for creativity, is that sexual connection with another being to actually create children. So that's the first channel of the human. Then we have 4 more channels. So the one with the creating of the orgone energy through mother and father's energy that flows through us, that frequency, that high vibration, it's normal. And we just don't know it's normal because we've been so shut down from this for so long. So everyone is being activated through all of the light codes that are coming in to be able to come back online to utilize those channels in the proper way.
Okay, good. I know that brings relief to some people, and it's very, very interesting. And for those who are not experiencing anything like that, that doesn't mean that they're not experiencing it. So, what would you have to say for people like that who just maybe are thinking, well, it's not happening to me? Something's still happening, something's still going on.
They're still going, everybody's in a different space and place in their process. And that's the one thing. So we can't compare ourselves to someone else who's feeling that right now because that person may not be at that level right now, but it's not a race. We're all awakening and going through these things according to our divine blueprint, which we set up before we came here. So if you're not feeling that yet, it will happen, but we have to clear those parts of us, the shadows, like the onion. We release all of those layers of us to get to that purity and that divine state of being that we are, and that divine consciousness to be able to experience everything through the physical body in all ways, in all levels of love. So if you're not there yet, it's okay. You're going to get there. That's what I tell all my clients. Don't worry. This isn't a race. You're going to get there.
That's comforting. Yes, I love that. This is not a race. And when we compare ourselves to others, we suffer and we hurt our own inner self, and we can create a pity party for ourselves when we do that. So very important, very wise wisdom there. Okay, so as we are working to activate the divine feminine, oh my gosh, there's so much that needs to be released around it as well. Belief systems for like what we thought was right. What are some of the belief systems and limiting behaviors that need to go?
Oh, wow. There's so much. I literally just finished what I called the Witching Wounds webinar a couple weeks ago, and doing that because those are a lot of the belief systems were placed on us by those that claimed us to be evil or witches or whatever you wanted, whatever words they wanted to call us, and those were connected to the control masculine. I don't like to use certain names, but and that would shut us down because the more we were told that we were something over every lifetime, if we didn't heal that, we came back in with that, still with that wound. So if we were called a witch or called evil, and all we were doing was working with sacred divine feminine knowing through us, connecting to Mother Earth through her love and utilizing her abundance and creating what you can call potions or elixirs or whatever, which is earth medicine, all of those things that we knew because we were divinely connected were shut down to take our power away. And we were blamed for so many things. We were even blamed for women who had pain in childbirth. We were blamed for if a child was born or died in childbirth by just if we were the last person present in that person's life. We had our lives taken away for so many things that are untruths. And that's when, in place, they would place a masculine there instead to take the roles and the positions of everything that the feminine were doing. So we were no longer allowed to be the shamans. The shamans were the first ones on the planet. They were women, they weren't men. We were no longer allowed to create the medicines from the earth that Mother gave us. We were no longer allowed to be the healers. We had everything taken and stripped from us, and then deprived and suppressed. And in all of that, through all of those lifetimes, every time, if you did not come back in that divine, sacred, feminine empowerment, you had to relive the same, the lives again, just in a different way. It's like you're in a different bodysuit with those same people coming after you. And so if you're not empowered, knowing that that's not who you are, that's when we have to step in and actually go through the healing pieces and really stepping into our divine power, masculine and feminine union within us, the God presence, and know that that was all just a program. So there's just so many different things that could have taken that away from us. And those are just a few of them, little ones. But it really did cause a lot of issues.
Yes, and it still does. For so many light workers who want to step out and do their role and their mission, but yet we feel hesitancy around it or resistance around it. And, many are reluctant or shy to speak their voice and to speak their truth. And why do I say the word Lemuria? Lemuria comes in, and it even it goes back all the way to Lemuria. There's still so many who feel this responsibility for Lemuria. So when we recognize that this is going on, first of all, how would we recognize it's going on, and then what can we do to dismantle it?
Well, just like you just said, you're saying it in different words, but it's that part of us that doesn't want to be seen. We're
Mhm,
afraid to be seen.
mhm.
And this is basically what you were just saying. So we don't step into our sacred voice. We don't allow that sacred voice. The way we recognize is through if we don't heal the wounds, then we end up with physical pain on the body. And so Being a full body conduit, I will feel everybody's stuff on me. So I feel where their blocks are. And for mainly for women, it goes right to the throat chakra and the solar plexus. And then we have those pieces down at the sacral, but it's always here first. Women are always afraid to speak with their sacred voice. And that is so important. We need to get that and bring that back online and allow yourselves, because this isn't just utilizing your voice, it's also utilizing your actions, your power in your actions. If you hold back this, you're holding back from being all that you are, which is sacred divine feminine and sacred divine masculine, balanced in the union. So if we allow someone to continue to overpower us, you're going to end up with pain in your throat, your pain in your shoulders. You're going to have pain, could go up to your ears or your jaw. There's those that have the pain in the womb. They have, women will have menstruation issues a lot if they're holding it in the sacral. The solar plexus, you'll have a lot of stomach issues and things like that. And that's the control point. If somebody is constantly still controlling you, you're feeling that, you're going to have those physical issues on you. That's where you got to go deeper to know. Like something like myself, I go and I find the root cause of it to help bring it up so it can be healed. But you yourself, if you're having pains on that physical body, you need to find a healer that can help you to find what you're holding on to. So it's just, it's so many different things that you can step into to locate what it is that's going to help you to release this. You don't need the wounds anymore. They're not serving.
So for those who, I mean, pain that comes up in the body, um, without any like issue, you could just say, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any physical effort. Why is this? That's an indicator that something still needs to be released. Uh-huh. Okay.
100%. We're holding on to it energetically, and if you're not healing the energy of this, it gets worse and it starts to get physical, and that's how we end up with physical dis-ease. So we need to, if we're feeling emotional, if we're feeling that I don't want to talk to that person or say something to someone, or I don't want to do this, if you're feeling those things, you're holding back instead of expressing. So if we don't express to remove the pain energy, okay, the energy of it, and allow ourselves to be heard, it's going to get worse. It digs into the bones, it digs into the joints, it gets into all the areas that you're being affected, whatever chakra it's located in.
Wow. Okay. So that's very interesting because you do assist people with that. Tell us about the light codes that you bring in. What's going on with the light codes that assist people? It's divine light. It could be scalar energy as well, if we want to define it in that way. And it's natural and very healing for people. And I'm going to say that maybe it's healing in a way that one doesn't need to recognize the block or the source of the block. Does it work that way, or do you still need to go and understand where that block is coming from? Like go
I,
deep into the history.
okay, I understand what you're saying. So we're at a point now, and also depending where everyone is in their process, you don't have to dig so much to actually release a block. However, if it continually keeps surfacing in the same area, then we've got to get to the root of it, because you're still holding on to something that's in the subconscious. It's in the subconscious program. And it's also in your DNA cellular memories, which is something that needs to come up. Like when I do session, I will go into the subconscious and I can actually bring it up so that we can actually find it to release the root. You don't have to always know exactly where it's coming from, who it came from, if you can work with any kind of energy healer that can help you to remove it. But you have to understand, if you had a specific area on your body where you're holding it, understand the energy system and where it's at. If it's on your heart, you're having that pain on your heart, or you're feeling that, what affected your heart and how can you change it so that you don't have that anymore? You still need to understand the depth of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does. And then, the feelings that come from that, like feelings of, we could feel the physical pain, but yet the feeling of how we feel, like feeling less than, or feeling sad about something, or triggered by someone else, right? This is all indicators that you have to go deep and get that out, right? Because we
Yeah,
should really just
absolutely.
be our essence all the time, our love.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's coming, and a lot of it can be coming from the subconscious programming from childhood. You look back to your parents and who actually is running that same program. You're running their program. You were basically a child in their movie. This is how I explain to my clients. You're a child in their movie and you're watching the movie happen. And what's happening? You're getting programmed. Okay, this is how a mommy and daddy's supposed to be. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And as you're getting programmed, we're also running the program through the cellular memory of the past lives and karmic situations at the same time that can trigger us to bring those events up again. So the light codes, when they come in, when the light languages come through, I literally, when I first was doing this, what Source showed me was it's almost like lightning bolts, but they come in sacred geometry, sound, light, vibration. It's all vibration, and they come in, and I see the cells, and they like they should just, for example, a lightning bolt hitting a cell that has like a gray coating over it, like a little coat or a shell on it, and it like cracks it. And as it cracks it, it expands that darkness to the surface. So the shadow comes up to be purified, to be transformed. And then our cells within our body, this is when the brilliance of them starts to open up, and you start to shine. And that's when the crystalline starts to activate. It really starts coming forth. So that's how it was shown to me so that I would understand exactly what I was doing for people. Source just works through me, so I'm a conduit for it. But that's what it does.
Wow, that is what light language does. The DNA key codes through light language. So when we hear light language, which we're going to have an activation with you today, that's what's going on, and looking back in hindsight, that no wonder we feel that way from light language. Yes, when we get out of the mind and can truly feel it, it raises our vibration because it's literally helping our cells move, not be so restrictive. It's opening our cells back up, right? Away from that gray area that is restricting it. Wow.
Right. So it's assisting you to start, like my team would call me the purifier. So they're like, it starts your purification process to be activated to start moving into light body. So it's activating. There's so many different codes that can come through. I'm a conduit for it. So I don't hold codes. I'm a conduit for them. And I sit in this huge, looks like a big beehive. And it's blue, which is the blue ray. And in each of the little hexagon things inside of there, there's different codes. So when I literally do something, I'll reach up and literally hit one of those things and bring that code through. My higher self will just automatically know which one needs to come in. It's the most amazing thing to see who we really are and what we're doing while here, but here at the same time in our existence. So those come in to activate through the DNA at the cellular level. And each person needs something different for your soul, because no two souls have had the same experience in their lifetimes. So what the things that I like to do is, like on today, my higher self knows exactly what everyone listening is going to need and will need. So it's like a collective activation for the moment of now. And it's not connected linearly.
It's not linear, it's very quantum, if we want to use that word. And it's very, I want to say multidimensional. Of course, it's multidimensional, but because it works with everyone, it's, gosh, it's so full. It's whole. It's scalar. It's scalar energy because it knows that energy knows where to go and it knows what people need. Yes.
Absolutely. And it is, and years ago when I when I was taking a shower, I'm like, what do I do? Because I could not figure out what I do because I hadn't met anyone like myself. And I heard loud and clear, you're a multi-dimensional quantum energy healer and also a light language DNA key code activator. And I was like, okay, so you just said that, and that's exactly what it's doing.
And you just got my telepathy because I was going to ask you, for those who are not familiar with you and your work, how did you how did you come into speaking light language? What happened there? And how did you trust it?
That's a good question. Thank you for that. So, as I go back, okay, because I had a soul exchange with myself in 2015, January 1st, 2015. So a higher aspect of myself came in, and that was the year I was speaking it. But as a child, I also would walk around speaking these funny little languages to the animals, to the dogs. We had dogs and cats and guinea pigs and stuff. Um, but then I shut it down when you have people in your family telling you, negative things. So you stop it. So it came back with the soul exchange, with the higher aspect of the self coming in. And from there, I just woke up one morning speaking it. And I felt it. It just, when I started speaking, it just started flowing and my heart just expanded. And I was like, whoa. And I just felt so elevated in this frequency of it. It's just vibration, it's frequency, it's light and sound. It is, and it feels so good. And I was like, okay, what is this? And so I called a friend and I asked her, I said, listen to what I'm saying. I started speaking and she could feel it. And she was like, whoa. And she was like, whoa. And her body was shaking. And she was like, Keleena, I don't really know what you're doing. She goes, but I feel like I'm transforming something, because she was really sad when I called her. And when we were done, she felt like she was in joy and love and peace. And so I did a little research and found out what it was. There was not very many people at all doing that when I did it. And my guide said to me, "You're going to start a YouTube channel now, and you're going to start bringing this." And that was 2015, 2016. And I was like laughing. I'm like, what? And it was only within days that I did it, because it was all in alignment and I trusted it because of how it felt. It felt so heart activating and so much love. And I had people tell me, don't do it, don't do it. But in my inner being and in my alignment, I knew I had to. And I just let it go. And I did not carry the energy of being suppressed, that I was not allowed to use my sacred voice anymore. My divine feminine was like right there in the front going, it's time to do this. This is time to use the sacred voice. Because it is, for me, very much feminine energy that flows through me. The mother frequency flows through me. And that's just what my work is. A lot of people have the mother frequency, but I feel it. I feel that divine love. And this whole month of May is about Mother Mary and divine love and the activation of, the heart and unconditional love. And that's what happens when it flows through. So I didn't question it. I laughed because I was like, right, I'm going to get a YouTube channel, but other
Yeah.
than that,
Your ego's going, what? I really? Okay. Well, thank you for stepping up, and thank you for showing all of us how to be so bold and brave and move forward with the call of the heart, with our higher self instruction. And I do see a world where everyone is doing that. And right now, we're still in a journey where we're helping people clear all of the blocks and limitations that keep us from expressing what is actually all around us and streaming into us right now. So it would be a beautiful time at this moment for an activation to come through you. And I'm already getting chills because it's outside of time. So we'll take a moment now for that.
okay, let me put my little crystals down. Okay. I'm going to move back because my hands will be moving. So I'm going to be moving energy. It just happens for me. Okay, so whatever comes through, the higher self knows exactly what to do. So If everyone can just have their hands palms facing up on their lap, which means being open and ready to receive. And I would like everyone to just say out loud, I now align with my divine sacred heart. And you should feel that sacred heart expanding. And just trust what that comes through from me is coming in from the cosmos, and I'm going to send it through from my heart to your heart, and also utilizing the sacred voice. Menyura atnamai. And there's going to be some healing codes coming in as well, so just say I now accept this healing from Keleena, if you wish. Just aligning frequency. Et mero ut nara at. Mihanana samiara hom. Antura mach narash it. Eras naraki. Kiara ana ut ish. Ama ura. En era. Ki kira karastan sa ut ak. Nihanana sanom. Shun unamurut nut kira kasna sa kira ah ut koroshu Okay, I'm feeling a solar plexus right now. A lot of you have like a tight solar plexus, so we're gonna focus on that really quick. Uria, nach nana at nik Okay, I feel that expanding now. Siente ira ushnana an manuria namai. Allow that sacred divine feminine energy to flow in. Amoria, ama. Nihanara samaya hana. Hihanara sayam atu. Uma ere ut urkashnaras and ai. Aligning divine consciousness, kahoahane, mihaua, miara atnai, kahashatadasnis tigrar ut, oluntiana karash, lamiana ana et, eri I. Aya at. Clearing the fields. Uriama ai. Hi hanan yara hai. En ur nema at opening that sacred voice. Ashyara ai. Em irol kuduka tia ir ush nashnus. Allowing the energy to come down. You'll feel energy coming down. Sacred divine light of Mother and Father. Flowing in through your beingness. Erasing all that does not serve that you're holding on to in the field. Amenya anna at nura ach. Ishhika asnai. int iro ut mama I ur ut ur ka'a. Pleiadians are here. Unta mer ushna ha ana eru una mariana anakana amoriana mama ush asnach et ero ututu ur utkira et ero amors nere et ere et ut maina a. Eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. Maya kita ayat. Blessings. And just take a deep breath into the heart. Breathe into your heart. 6 seconds in. And then exhale 6 seconds out. And just relax and receive. And just so all of you know, before I even came on today, I created a sacred container for everyone. All is well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My pleasure.
We are feeling that activation and the beautiful light that we carry now. And we are radiating it to the world. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Amazing. The throat chakra. And after that was opened, cleared, whatever happened there, feeling the mother and the father within ourselves. Yes, thank you.
We all have that ability also to speak this. So when they're ready, everybody will. And some of you may get activated just from what I did today. I've activated thousands of people. Just watch the YouTube videos that are free out there. Thousands of people have gotten activated. It is the language of love. It's vibration, and it's normal. It's pure. It's organic. It's who you are. It's human nature.
Yes. I know the last time that we spoke, we were talking about the resistance that some might have to speaking the light language. So maybe there are some who need to really work on that as well. There are some beautiful comments coming in that I'd love to share.
Okay.
Tanya says, thank you. I feel so completely balanced and clear. Yes. Awesome. Judy says, my lower lip was quivering.
I know what that is.
What is that?
So when the lip starts to vibrate, or the tongue or back in your throat, that means that you're getting activated to speak it.
Ah.
So she's ready.
So as we begin to speak it, if there are some who are feeling it, what would you recommend that one does? Just do it.
Yes, just allow it to flow. So if you're not in a session with me to help you to activate it, but you feel it coming in like from things like this, again, go listen to my free videos on YouTube, because there's years of activations. And when there's so many different ones, there's 5 different categories of the languages, but within each one of those, my ability is to channel all the different beings in those categories. So one of those is on the YouTube videos that will completely align with your soul. and it will activate that in you to start speaking it. So listen to it. When you start to speak it, don't resist it, allow it to flow, because not everyone sounds the same. This is one thing that I want people to know. You aren't going to sound like me. You're not going to sound like the person next to you. You're not going to sound like someone else in the room. You have your own divine soul essence of language. Get out on the earth. This is the first thing I love to teach everyone. Get out on the earth and utilize it there. Sit in Mother Nature and just let it flow, because nature understands it. It's light codes. The elementals understand it. They hear you. They will start showing themselves to you. The animals understand it. They feel it. It's all vibration and it's love. So let it flow there. And when you're more comfortable with it, then you start allowing it in front of people. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Personally, it seems like toning is easier for me, and I tone at the cows. And they always look, cows and horses, and they always look. It's so amazing. And of course, I was toning once and I had a memory of Lemuria and how I did it in Lemuria. And then, of course, I started bawling, not just crying, I was
Aww.
bawling. And because I saw the judgment of myself and how it affected so many other lifetimes after that, allowing others to judge my voice. So it is quite beautiful. And as I was doing that, my cat and my dog came bounding into the room. So it's quite amazing the power of this.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't need to wrap our ego mind around it. Just let it in and let it flow. More comments I'd love to share. Lori Ann, Lori, if you are open, I'd like to unmute you so you can ask your question. Lori says, unbelievable. I do not know what I released, but it was painful heartache. I felt a heaviness around my heart and a spot in my head. And she says, I spoke it, light language, before my dog and saved her life. All I knew is what I felt. People think I'm a freak and sound Russian and French.
Okay. Is she on there?
Let me go and Lori, I'm going to um, toggle this so you can unmute yourself. Hi, Lori.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi. I don't
Hi,
have my video.
Lori.
You don't
Hi.
need your video. It's okay.
Okay.
So I want to say to you, well, when the Pleiadians came in, I don't know if you didn't have your eyes open, they came in, they made their symbol when they came in. It was this massive energy, and they went straight to the heart, and whatever they literally were drawing one side of the heart, the other side of the heart, and did something and just released this huge and it just opened up all of your hearts for releasing things that are connected to fear and that are connected to any kind of painful trauma. I felt that happen. So when I'm doing all of this, I feel everything on my body, so I know what's happening for all of you. If you needed it, you would have received it, and that's what you felt. So you're holding on to a trauma event, whether it was from this life or from another life, held in your cellular memory that needed to come up to be released.
Okay. I'm getting ready to cry now. I don't know what it is.
It's truth.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if there was any deep-rooted problems that you can help me clear that I'm unaware of.
It would take me an hour to go into all of that. Yes, I can. But like here right now, I'm going to just tell you what I'm feeling on you right now.
Okay.
I feel your solar plexus because it's squeezing on me. It's giving me that feeling that, you have to belch, but it's not coming out. So that to me is the symbology of energy block there at the solar plexus chakra, which is our divine will. That's our inner sun. If that's blocked, we're not allowing ourselves to live through our divine blueprint. Or if somebody's trying to control you or has controlled you in this lifetime to not allow you to be who you are, that's another way it can get blocked. There can be so many reasons. It could be from childhood, it can be through a relationship you're in now, or it could be you actually controlling, trying to control the outcome of everything because you think egoically it's supposed to be a certain way rather than allowing everything to just flow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it has to do with a relationship I'm trying to end now, like, where they don't allow me to be myself, spontaneous, this and that. And I just, since it's only since February, and like I did a lot of work on myself spiritually and all this kind of stuff. And since February, I like went so far back to where I was even before that. I'm just, trying to get rid of it. And I just, you can't get rid
Yeah,
of
I
it.
feel it. It's also connected to your throat chakra with this person, but it's also down in your sacral. So you've got, but you're carrying a fear of actually, kira ushnama'a. You have a fear of too much confrontation or hurting somebody's feelings when you're letting them go, if that makes sense. And you hold back a little bit rather than just doing it, is what your team is telling me.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like, I would have been rid of them a while ago because I learned, boundaries and stuff. But I kind of, a boss that really had been helping me out since I got over here and, got my life together. He was hiring them, and the kid needed to finish his job. And I just like, and out of guiltiness towards my boss who had helped me out so
There it
much,
is. There
I,
it is. Guilt. Okay. The guilt is down in that sacral and the root. That's where the guilt and the shame comes in. If I don't do this, I'm going to feel guilty. And that's the ego tendency that I was talking about. So that puts you in your head. So you don't actually follow the divine will or your blueprint to allow things to flow. If something's not right for you and it doesn't feel right, that's when you say goodbye. You are grateful towards that person. Back in the temples, I want to explain this really quick. Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, we had relationships with people and they took us to a certain level. And these relationships, we came together in love and we left in love. Because if in that relationship, in this sacred union, we were no longer growing or expanding within ourselves or together, we had gratitude toward that person always, and we walked away in love, and the next person would come along. We did not have what's happening on the earth now where you're married forever and that's eternal and you always have to be with that person. That's a program that they placed and that holds you back from actually expanding your consciousness, your awareness, and also the different levels of love and also your ascension. So relationships are supposed to always be coming together in divine union, in divine love. It's within ourselves first, and then we attract that person that's going to help us to expand and grow. If they don't help us with that anymore, we say goodbye. Thank you so much for all that you've shown me, you've taught me. I love you so much. And you walk away like that. And that's what we did in the temples then. This is what I'm teaching the women. I'm teaching the temples right now for all the women on my Patreon. This was such a big part of bringing heaven to earth. We are heaven and we're bringing this to earth within us. This is union. This is mother and father within us. This is divine unconditional love. And there is no ego in the way or tripping us up when we have to walk away like's happening now. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I actually believe that way, and I think it's not because of him. It was because of my boss. I didn't want to let my boss down, kind of. So
Your boss is also another part of a relationship. It's just not a relationship with like a lover, a husband, whatever. All relationships are showing you something, and sometimes you have to say goodbye to a relationship in another way. So if it's a boss, if it's a friendship, a neighbor, whatever, everything and every person that you come into contact with is some kind of, you can call contract, or it's a soul family member to enlighten you and to continue your process in a way that allows you to step into your divinity and higher awareness at all times. So if that person again is not bringing you any kind of expansion or growth with what you're doing, it's always time to say goodbye.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
It reminds me of my yogini friend who it's been 20 years and they got married in Bali. And her wedding vows, they changed it to, I will love you for as long as possible. Until death do we part. So really amazing. Yes,
Yeah.
okay. It is evolving love. It's evolving love. It's doing everything out of love. And parting in love is really powerful. And I know that's affected many people here to just release that in love where needed in
Yes,
every relationship.
all of them. It's the evolution of an evolution in our awareness, and we are awakening to those codes again. I have all the memories of it, teaching of it. I taught that stuff in the temples, so I had the awakening and understanding of how it's supposed to be on the earth, what we're going back into, but we've got to get rid of all of the ego stuff that we've been attached to, all of the stuff that's been layered on us. That's not the truth. So our truth is in our knowing, our truth is in our heart. Our divine feminine is the heart. We have the masculine, which is the mind, not the ego. That's the program. Masculine mind, the father, and the divine feminine heart. And when we bring those two together and understand the source of all creation is only love and unconditional divine love, and how we are to be with every single soul upon the planet, this is when everything changes for us. We just get caught up in the drama of life that we've been programmed in, and that's what we're releasing as we're going through. And that's what the sacred divine feminine, the mother energy that's coming in this month of May, Mother Mary's miracles, I call it, is going to help with this transformation for a lot of people right now.
Beautiful. Thank you. You have a webinar coming up in this month of May as well, and it's Reclaiming Divine Feminine through Sacred Galactic and Shamanic Womb Cleanse. Tell us about this. This is interesting. What's going to go on there?
Yeah, so, okay, this is something that was gifted to me here in Sedona. I was doing some grid work on the Kachina, which is there's a knoll in the Kachina, it's in Boynton Canyon, and I was asked by Spirit to do a womb cleanse on the mother, on Gaia. And all of this energy started flowing in through me, and the inner beings just took over, and I did this massive womb cleanse on Gaia, and that was 2018. And I could see stuff coming to the surface in her, more things coming to the surface that had to be purified, because she is the divine feminine. She is our creator. She is Mother Creator. And after I had done that, these codes come in. They're galactic codes, but also I've got all different codes come in. It's shamanic and galactic, and it's all interweaved and interdesigned to help remove things that are at the core parts of the old program that need to just be removed from women, that they're holding on to, not just subconsciously in the bodies, but holding on to in the organs, the feminine organs. They showed me all of this. So we hold on to traumas, past events, things from this lifetime, but also past lifetimes. If women in this life cannot get pregnant, a lot of them, it's connected to past life things. And it's all comes up with this sacred womb cleanse, that after I did this on Gaia, she told me, go do it on all of the women that are up here now. Offer this to them. And I laughed. I was like, right. So they were like, yeah, go do that. And I was like, okay. So I went and walked across. My cousin was with me. I walked across the Kachina and the Knoll, and I announced to all the women that I'm going to be doing a free sacred womb cleanse. If you're interested, you can follow me back to the other side by the Kachina. And I honestly didn't think any. I thought people were going to think I'm crazy. And when I went back there, my cousin jumped up. She goes, oh, I need that. And I heard her walking behind me. I turned around. There was about 20 women standing there. Only a couple of them didn't come over, and I was shocked. And they all sat down, and I did it. And at the end of it, so many of them were crying and telling me their stories of why they were there that day. Some of them were wanting to get ready to have a baby. Some of them couldn't have children. They knew they needed to be there. Another woman showed up on the Kachina that had a walker, and it took her over an hour to get up, which only takes the rest of us, 15 minutes to climb up. And she was older, and she woke up that morning, and she told her husband, "I have to be at the Kachina today." And he was like, "Are you sure?" And they knew it would be an event for her to get up there. And she said she felt everything happen to her, and she felt like it was part of her healing to be there. So it's very powerful. There are women that have gotten pregnant after it, that have tried Western medicine. So they've had like a couple sessions with me, and then we've done the womb cleanse, and they've birthed their babies. A lot of them are 2022 babies. There's some 2021, and even another woman who's 58 got pregnant after going through menopause. So that
Wow.
was a shock for her and her husband.
Wow.
I warned him. I said,
So be careful.
I warned him. I'm
Wow.
like, you can get pregnant. So, so yes. So just, and it's spirit working through me. It's the galactic shamanic energy that flows through me, and I'm a conduit for it. So that I can't claim it. I'm a conduit for it.
Thank you for being a conduit. And it's interesting. It seems like every woman on planet Earth, every woman, I don't think there's any woman on planet Earth who is free from it unless the work has been done. I think wouldn't you say it's part of our journey as females? And incarnating as a female, I mean, we've incarnated as men before, but this is what we take on.
Absolutely. And what's interesting, I've had some men come in and actually participate in it. It's one thing that I do it in every event that I do, in-person events I do. I always do that because it's a purification. And sometimes the men are there and the men participate. They want to feel it. And a lot of times for them, it's very emotional for a lot of people. The emotions come up, they don't know where they're coming from. But the men, a lot of them that are also psychic, have seen what they've done to demoralize women when it's coming up for them. Or they're having their own memories of being a feminine and having it come up. So anyone can actually participate in it because it's going to unlock that program that you've been holding on to from traumas and the past events that are in your cellular memory.
Yeah, very, very interesting. We're excited for that webinar. The details for it are in the chat box. I'm going to put that in the chat box right now. And it's also here on this webpage or in the YouTube video link description box. We're excited for it. Again, everyone on the planet needs it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I just want to say it's a very huge discount. I normally charge $222 for it. So on Lauren's show, this is the only place you're going to get it for 44. This is the only place.
That is so generous. Thank you. So here that is. Thank you, everyone. It is in the box.
Yes. So,
Well, I know I'm just looking at my own life. My son is adopted. As a teenager, I went through some time where I didn't want children, and I literally think that shut my entire system down. We are that powerful.
yes.
So again, this is good for all of us, no matter what stage in life we are at. Just be careful. You're going to end up making a baby. All right.
A golden child.
A golden child. Well, maybe that's part of the path. Who knows?
Yes.
Okay. We have time for one more caller. Let's go to Caroline. Caroline, you can unmute yourself and say hello when you're ready. Hi.
Hi, beautiful. I thought I had put my hand down.
Oh, do you still have a question?
Not really. I did lots of stuff going through my mind, but I don't have an actual question.
Okay. All right. How does your heart feel?
Very sad.
I feel it.
Why?
What's that?
Why is your heart sad? Oh, now I made you cry. See, this is a healing space for you. So
Yeah.
share with us. You've got the support of everyone here. We're all supporting you.
Yeah, trauma. I'm feeling trauma.
Yeah, there's a few things that came up during the call. Speaking of, I've been married for, well, we've been together 41 years. And I often feel that the marriage part of it is done. But I don't want to leave. I don't want to do that to my children.
And how old are your children?
31 and 27.
Okay, this is your guilt part. This is the guilt
Yeah.
part that the sacred feminine are carrying. This is part of the old program that you have within you. If you participate in the womb cleanse, it's actually going to bring that into light for you to show you that there's no need to hold on to something or anyone or any place, anything that's not allowing you to expand or grow. You're actually, more than anything, what I'm hearing for you and seeing is that you're holding on to the comfort that you're used to. That if you actually walked away from a partner, this is the program, okay? You don't want to hurt anyone, but there's also the fear in you because I'm feeling your root right now, your root chakra, I'm feeling your lower spine. That if I walk away now after all these years, what's going to happen? And what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my family? Where am I going to go from here? These are all the things that come up that are created from the egoic fears. So this is why your heart is hurting right now because you know certain things are completed, and a lot of times we have these, they call them karmic connections to go through this process with a certain soul family member. And once those are cleared and you no longer have that karmic connection with that person anymore, the soul feels clear, the soul feels free, and it's waiting to move on. But no one can ever tell you what to do. You have to be ready to take that on your own. And I'm going to tell you something. I have worked with a lot of women in your space and place. And when they finally stepped in their empowerment to know that it's only love when you walk away, they've expanded and grown so much in their being, their beingness, and who they are, and understanding their divinity. That when you walk away from someone else, you have to remember that if you're not growing, they're not growing either. Okay?
And there's also the part of, I've asked my guides, I've sat in meditation, asked for money to come my way, that if this is actually meant to be for my highest good, to walk away, because it's not a horrible marriage, but it's just not, there's no connection, no intimacy, and stuff like that. But I don't have the money to walk away. Even if I would want to walk away, I don't have the resources right now. I've asked for the resources, to signs, and nothing has shown up. So
That's another big fear of women that have been in marriages for a long time. They have the fear of, where's this abundance going to come from? How am I going to support myself? And that comes back to trust. Trusting in your divine will that you've created, that everything's going to be okay, and that God is always going to support us. Mother, Father, God, Source, whatever you wish to call it, always has our back. Spirit's always watching over us. So yeah, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm divorced, and if I had not have trusted in the divine source when I walked away, because I left everything, the only thing I took was my car and the responsibility half of my children. If I had not trusted that I was awakening into more of a deeper sense of who I am and allowing my abilities to come through, I would not be here right now helping the thousands of people upon the planet that I've helped so far. It's a deep level of trust. And so when you're carrying guilt and shame and all of that in your system, you're not able to find the trust because it's buried. If that, I'm hoping that makes sense.
it does.
Yeah. So
And
we
I
feel,
will participate in the womb cleansing.
yeah, we feel you, and sending
Because
so much love.
when you said trauma, there was there was a lot of trauma, sexually and
Yeah, I
physically, in
saw
my
it.
life. So yeah.
I saw it. I didn't want to say that out loud because I don't
Yes.
like to put people on the spot, but you've brought that up, and that's what I felt and saw immediately. So, yes, it's going to help you, but I'm just sending you so much love right now. Umuria nama at narai. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Loren.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you for sharing. You are a goddess. Now I'm going to cry. And you are being activated. You may not know it, but you are. Happy activating.
Aw.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of courage to come up and say that, whether you're seen on the screen or not, because some people will never admit it. So that's very, very courageous of her.
Mhm. Thank you, Caroline. You've helped others too. Here's a comment from LCB. Says, what if you can't leave due to finances? Can you emotionally leave and heal?
I want to say, and this is what I'm hearing, it's different for every single person. Okay, this is what Spirit's saying. So, depending on where you are in your process and how empowered you are in your divinity and knowing that you are God's source, you can do anything.
So that would be yes to some folks and no to others, wouldn't it? Depending
Exactly.
on each person's positioning. Yes. Well, it's all about empowerment and it's all about love. And to feel what you had expressed earlier about moving away from your relationship, what we did in Lemuria and Atlantis, coming together in love and leaving in love. That is such a higher perspective. It's an adult perspective. It's a love perspective, and it makes us feel so much better. So if that's all we can do in the name of love, we're doing it.
We are
Mhm.
doing it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to the womb cleanse webinar with you. And no matter if you're in a female form or a male form, it is deep cleaning that will benefit the world. Thank you so much for being here, Kalina. As we wrap up our session today, can you look at our world and this year and give us any insights and empowerment message?
Yes. I would like everyone to know something that I have been working on out in the ethers, and I would like to bring it to everyone's awareness because this is going to help. One of the things I've been doing is connecting these golden snowflakes all around the grid. And it created, when it was done, and I placed the last one in at the South Pole, it literally lit me up, but it lit up Gaia. And what they said loud and clear in my ear was, it's Gaia's new golden DNA. And so all you have to do right now is, because this is in the crystalline grid, all you have to do now is say, I now connect with Gaia's new golden DNA. And once you say that, I'm feeling it again, it just flows through you. And this is going to help you moving forward through this year with your enlightenment and the new DNA activations that are happening within you, and they're going to be happening within everyone. So it's very empowering, it's very powerful. We have new things happening. Some are getting new spines, some are getting new brains. There's so much going on that I'm seeing. I want you to know, don't give up, because every step in your process that you're taking, whether it feels painful or if it feels like joy one day, you're going to get there. Don't give up. Okay? Everyone is becoming Christed. Everyone is becoming, that means enlightened. And it just takes a little bit of linear time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I now align with Gaia's golden DNA.
Yeah. Do you feel that?
Yes. There's no worries, there's no ego mind when we do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we hold this, emanate it, and share it.
Mm-hmm. Allow that activation within you, through you, outside of you, always. That's why you're here as a conduit, all of you, as one.
Do it in all ways, always. Thank you, Keleena. What a beautiful session. You are leaving us in a raised vibration, and our world is changed because of it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I love you.
And we love you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We love you too. And we thank you for your bright light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.